critical path. Critical path. Also, who would tell me what's the critical path? At least those who are done with schedule management lesson on the simulator, they should have a version of.
Yeah, it is the longest, the path with the longest duration, and it has an impact on the outcome of the project as well. If it gets delayed, any particular item in that path gets delayed, the overall project schedule gets delayed.
Okay, anyone else?
I think it's not the longest. Isn't that the minimum? Because if we are going for the critical path, so it has the minimum duration, the path that has a minimum from start to end.
Anyone else would want to contribute to what is critical path?
Critical path is basically you cannot complete your project without that, something like that. If I'm not wrong.
In a way, yes. Yes. Yes, Abad, you want to say something?
Yes, critical path is the longest path from start to finish, and it indicates the minimum time for the project to complete, for the entire project to complete.
And Ali is saying the longest part from start to finish, minimum time necessary to complete a project. So all of you are correct. And I hope that it's not only a memorization, you need to understand that as well, that what do we mean by the longest part? What do we mean by longest part along with the shortest possible project duration, right? So for those who don't understand this, let's have this conversation. Theoretically, yes, this is correct. I have shown you multiple paths on that network diagram. It can be shown on the Gantt chart as well, the same way. With my example, I'm going to show you the critical path or the non-critical path on the Gantt chart. The critical path on in a project is the longest path out of all available paths from the start till the end, which is also going to portray the shortest possible time the project is going to take, which means the shortest possible project duration. Both of that together, actually. So now we are going to have all the conversation via the same use case that we have been utilizing since we started. Theoretically, critical path is the longest part with the smallest possible time the project may take on that initiative. So this is a very simplistic example to explain critical path and later on the concept of float as well. We know this is a project level of our WBS. This is a control account level of our, this is another control account PMP video. This is a work package level. This is also a work package level. Work package because it's our lowest level of our WBS. And, you know, this is also work package, introduction to Agile. This is also work package. These are all activities. This much we know. I'm saying it again so that it commits to your memory that at times people they just get into the discussion so much that they lose the primary understanding and essence of our discussion. So this is all activities. And collectively, this is all WBS. You may have your WBS code of account indicator in a field as well. Again, it's auto-generated. If you give the proper indentation to your activities, it will the tool will automatically. This is a Gantt chart representation of our schedule, and all these activities in the form of bar is represented based on their logical arrangement. Wherever I say logical arrangement, it means sequencing, finish to start, start to start. So this much we understand. Right? Now, this much is not enough to know the project start and project ended. I mean, this much knowledge is going to give you the project start and ended for sure. However, we need to keep some checks on top of that, based on which one is the longest part, what is going to happen if this part is going to delay. For instance, SN has been asking about something is delayed. how that is going to impact. That is going to impact a lot if that's the critical path. So what's the critical path over here? You can clearly see that this is a simple project. So you have clearly two independent paths going on, which is going to be like a rare case in the real life use cases. So this is path A, this is path B. Let's just call it this way. For understanding, it's an ideal example, but it's not a realistic example. Realistically, paths would be crossing each other, and they are very, intricate on the loop of it. Longest path and shortest duration, shortest project duration. Out of these two paths, which one seems like a critical path based on this definition?
Path B.
Of course, path B. Anybody can tell this. But a person who doesn't even know what is critical part, what is project management can tell this, right? It's path B. It's critical path. Now let's map the definition to that. Longest path. Longest the path length is calculated by calculating the different activities on that part and just summing that up. So we can clearly see 11 days for this work package of all the activities, 10 days for this work package for all the activities under it, which is going to make 21 days. And you can see that the project working duration is also 21 days, which is defined by this path. Now let me give you an example.